In 2014, Derek and Maria Broaddus thought they had found their dream home. Located in the idyllic suburb of Westfield, New Jersey, 657 Boulevard was a grand house with sprawling rooms, a manicured lawn, and the perfect neighborhood to raise their 3 young children. It was the kind of house people spent their lives working toward, a place where memories would be made and futures would be secured. But the dream turned dark before they could even move in. 3 days after closing on the house, Derek was at the property late in the evening, painting and checking on renovations, when he noticed an envelope in the mailbox. It was addressed to the new owner in thick, clumsy handwriting. Curious, he opened it. The letter was typed, but its contents were chilling. "Dearest new neighbor at 657 Boulevard, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood. How did you end up here? Did 657 Boulevard call to you with its force within? 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now, and as it approaches its 110th birthday, I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s and my father watched in the 1960s. It is now my time. Do you know the history of the house? Do you know what lies within the walls of 657 Boulevard? Why are you here? I will find out." The letter then went on to describe the Broaddus children in unsettling detail, even referencing them by their nicknames. The writer asked if the family had already found out what was in the walls of the house, warning that they might soon. "I am pleased to know your names now, and the name of the young blood you have brought to me. You certainly say their names often." The letter ended with a cryptic signature, "The Watcher." Derek, understandably shaken, raced back to his family and showed them the letter. The police were immediately involved, but there was little they could do. It seemed to be a cruel prank, a case of neighborhood hazing, but the Broadduses were not convinced. How did this person know so much about them? And why were they so obsessed with the house? A second letter arrived a few days later, more menacing than the first. "Welcome again to your new home at 657 Boulevard. The workers have been busy, and I have been watching you unload carfuls of your personal belongings. The dumpster is a nice touch. Have they found what is in the walls yet? In time they will. I am pleased to know your names now and the name of the young blood you have brought to me. You certainly say their names often. The house is crying from all of the pain it is going through. You have changed it and made it so fancy. You are stealing its history. It cries for the past and what used to be in the time when I roamed its halls. The 1960s were a good time for 657 Boulevard, when I ran from room to room imagining the life with the rich occupants there. The house was full of life and young blood. Then it got old, and so did my father, but he kept watching until the day he died. And now I watch and wait for the day when the young blood will be mine again." The Watchers seemed to know intimate details of their lives, their schedules, their children's habits. The letters kept coming, each more threatening, more specific. "We are friends now. The Watcher and I," the letter stated ominously. "I will be patient and wait for this to play out. I will enjoy watching what is in the walls unfold. Let the young blood play again like I once did. Stop changing it and let it be." Terrified and unable to comprehend who could be doing this or why, the Broaddus family decided they could never move into the house. They put it back on the market, but the story had spread, and no one was willing to buy a house with such a dark reputation. The Watchers' letters never stopped. Even years later, they would arrive periodically, taunting, threatening, reminding the family that they had never really escaped. The mystery of the Watcher remains unsolved to this day. The true identity of the person behind the letters, a secret that 657 Boulevard keeps within its walls, along with whatever else may be lurking there, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. The house stands as a monument to the unknown, a place where the boundary between normal life and unspeakable horror is disturbingly thin.